places. I see familiar faces. Have we met before, or am I just drawing blank? Can you tell me where it might have been, or have I purposely forgotten? I don't know how much more I can take. Looking through diamond eyes, it was the best time of my life. You made a promise I would see my name in lights. What could I say? But in it now, gave it all away. Chasing fortune and fame, I can't breathe, can't. I'm down too deep, I can't take my way out. Come to awaken, find that everything's been taken and it all belongs to you. Don't belong. As soon as I'm able, you'll see me turning the tables, and then we'll see who's got who. You burn me, my friend, I know you do it again, as if I were to let you never. As soon as I'm able, you'll see me turning the tables, and then we'll see who's got who. Scared, cold and alone. My nails, water and bone is on the marquee. One that I can't take from this stage. Have to hold on me. Meant to walk along the parking lane. Me while you were taking my breath. Come here to get ya. My vendettas stand forever. I come to wait to find that everything's been taken and it all belongs to you. It all belongs to you. As soon as I'm able, you'll see me turning the tables, and then we'll see who's got who. You broke me, my friend, I know you do it again, as if I were to let you never. As soon as I'm able, you'll see me turning the tables, and then we'll see who's got who.
Hello, fiends!
Hello! Hello, hello!
Hello, hello. It is wonderful to see all of you. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Jen. Hello, Anthro. Hello, Ava. Rena. Oh, you guys. Boom. Well, we are on week 3 of the Fool Me Once Behind the Curtain. And we're about a third of the way through the story so far. If you've been following along, and really everyone who's here has been, so thank you very much. We've been playing our story set from Festival of Ghouls 2020. So far, to get you quick catch up, last week we had Jordy Revelette on. Hello, Jove. Jordy Revelette is the character who played Max Rudolph, the investigator who has found some fishy situations going on in the city, and he's digging deeper. So he's got 2 prime suspects, and one of which is Archie Walker, who we learned more about last week a little bit. The very handsome now vampire who's seeking vengeance against Harold the Diamond Hellsinger, who just coincidentally was released from prison on good behavior. So now He's given up his life of crime. He's now he's helping his mother run her flower shop, Mary's Magnificent Magnolias and more. And Max Rudolph has visited the flower shop, took some of those, and went to the graveyard of Mary to pay his respects. And in the meantime, he found a grave that was dug up. And whose name was on the headstone? A Josie Belue. Now, you probably saw the video yesterday of Who's Got Who. Now, we have a very special empty chair that we don't want to keep empty for very much longer.
We sure don't.
I think that we don't want to wait any longer. Everyone, please welcome our guest, Jo Cleary.
Yay! She's here! Hi, guys.
Hello, Jo.
Thank you for having me at
Josie
your
Blue.
bar. Thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us. Don't put too much weight on this side, though.
Yeah,
It's-
or this
it will
side.
fall.
Yeah,
Careful.
it's a
Doesn't it?
nice...
It's-
This is a beautiful teeter-totter that we've been using.
So-
It's just like recess.
It's true.
How are you?
Yes. I'm very good. How are you guys? Doing well.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I
did.
wasn't expecting. I didn't know I was going to have any questions. Too, I was prepared to ask.
So nervous.
I'm well. I guess I'm very well.
Oh, hey, guys. Raisinox.
This is great.
This is very nice.
What a good-looking chat already.
Today was
God,
such a
my
good looking
hello.
less rock and roll / more rock and roll job of being an educator. It's pretty sweet. Played some Brahms.
What?
Some
Fancy.
Yep.
That is fancy.
And then I just did vibrato for an hour, and no one had a good time. No one enjoyed it.
Just at your students.
Just-
like, you want to be good.
And if they blink, I'd be like, starting over.
Oh. Brutal.
Yeah. I'm ready to get into the other side of my mischievous brain self person.
It's good to have in the same day, I think.
Yes.
For balance. I'm speaking for you.
Well,
Isn't it so good?
Isn't it good?
But I feel like that's how we all have done our things. It's like we do our regular thing, and then something magic happens as we put on the clothes and the hats and the makeup.
That's
and,
true.
And then it happens.
And now it's happening.
Now it's here. We
In
did.
your
We did it.
living room, wherever you're sitting.
Bedroom,
Oh,
bathroom,
baby, I'm not shaming
knows?
anybody.
maybe all three throughout this. We're gonna be here for a minute, so.
Let us know.
Oh, Jillian, Jillian,
Jillian.
Hello. Oh yes, Anthro. Thanks for noticing the color. You might also notice that it's we look better, and it doesn't have to necessarily. That was bad timing. Here, now we look even better.
Yes.
Ooh, we have a new camera, so it's crisp. Feel free to
Just like
Very
like
crisp.
this.
very crisp.
Very crisp.
Pause for compliments of crispness. Oh, something last week that we also mentioned. We're doing a raffle for the official Diamond Goon glasses here, and everybody.
Yes.
We're not gonna do them yet, but we're
thank
we're gonna do it. We're gonna let some more people arrive and do it a little bit later. These are the unofficial official Goon glasses for Diamond Eyes Goons that we wore in the videos. And if you didn't know, we did a raffle last week. Every $5 gave you a chance to win. So we're going to be digging into a hat. Just so you know what is to come. Isn't that exciting?
That's fine.
Oh.
That's so exciting. Looks
Are you-
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Look pretty cool.
That- Pause for compliments.
It looks
yeah.
good.
Well, you know,
Very
they come in
crisp.
all kinds of colors, and that's part of the random raffle. You're probably not going to get to decide.
Also, Ava, thank you. You're so sweet. And I also saw Hoagie Man. Hello, and Jove. Hi, you guys, and Jan. I wanted to say hello.
So glad you guys are here.
I'm glad you did, and I'm glad everybody else is saying hello, too.
Mm-hmm.
Just passing on my gladness, really, at the end of the day. Well, something a little bit fun, I think is a delight.
Okay.
Is that through this we've been releasing all of these in order, but as you might have found if you're following along on the playlist, is that some of the songs have been released already, including I'm calling it You're a Phony.
Yes.
Personal fave of everyone.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Apparently this is what I'm gonna be doing this stream. It just felt
It's like cat paws. It's
yeah,
just very
exactly. I'm not praying.
gentle.
It's just cats. Sometimes they land. So there's somebody on their toilet laughing their heads off out there, and you get it. So, Phony was a song that happens right after Who's Got Who, which I think is just important to get totally caught up as far as the story is concerned. At which point, Archie and Josie reluctantly have to work together.
Where would we get an idea to write our characters like
I
that,
have
Zach?
no
Oh my
idea.
God.
It's not inspired at all.
No.
It's just
Nope.
real, real fiction
Real.
that we just made
Not
out
true
of
stuff.
nowhere.
Not at all true. Nope.
I relate
No
to these
siree.
characters. None.
No.
None at all. Oh, Jillian thinks I should have tiny hands, which I don't disagree.
I don't either, but
maybe
I
we'll
don't
do
know
it.
where they are.
I swear I
They're
saw them.
nearby.
Yeah, we definitely did. Maybe we'll do it for the raffle.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, then when
Oh, we're definitely finding them for the raffle. Are they
Well,
over
thank you for the idea.
Oh, they're over here.
Jillian. I knew it. Well, Joe, I mean, everybody knows you
There we go.
here, basically, and you've been on before, and you've talked a bit about Josie, and so there's a lot of, there's a lot.
The texture of these is disturbing.
It's two
Yeah.
right
It
hands.
feels-
Also, I only have the two right hands.
Don't mind me.
They're nice. I never would. So we've done in the past streams and talked about how we met and how you joined the band, and so we know a lot of that. So I would, and you're very open about it. Many people have been following.
Oh,
I think it was obstructing the view.
this looks terrible. This looks awful. Yes.
Yes.
Continue your questions.
Your hands have branches, and they have branches. And if you look even closer, each tiny
Little finger.
Zach, just ask me your questions. I'm a very busy woman.
Well, I was wondering. So in the creation of this, of Josie and the whole story, I had written many of the characters and had Archie planned out pretty well, and Max Rudolph and Harold, and I had a vague introduction of where Josie would come in. I think at that point we didn't even have a name for her, and it was just like, she's come to the city, she has to hate this guy. Here, like, you fill in the gaps. What should it be from there? Also, what's fun is, as we've been doing these, the questions that we've been getting, so much of this story lives in my head, except for Josie's stuff. So some of these questions we maybe have answers for, maybe we don't, and maybe it's like wide open.
That's
you know
fun.
what I mean? I have very little. I have ideas of where I think Josie's character could go, but if we did any more with Josie, that would be your character to write.
Yes.
So how fun was that? you know, just like creating a character from this story. Like with Who's Got Who being sort of the intro and having to introduce this character in this story that was, you know, placed in the 1930s and
To be honest, I feel like me becoming a writer on this album was never really an intent or kind of in the plan originally, because I don't have a lot of experience songwriting, like, at all. And both of the songs that I had written happened very non-purposely. I was just really upset, so I just did it. And then I showed you, and you were like, "This is pretty cool." I'm like,
pretend
really?
that you have very specific hate in your heart.
Easy. But I wrote those songs initially as kind of like therapy, and I didn't get any farther than even half a verse. But then I got attached enough to like just chords, because I'm very much a musically driven person before lyrically. I'd be interested to hear where you tend to lean, but that's at least where I go. Most of my emotions are based off of the way the chords come together. So for Who's Got Who, the chord progression in itself is kind of odd. People get upset when they learn it, usually, at first. They're like, why is this measure of 2 beats? I'm like, shut up. So you had always left the door a crack open for me when I felt prepared to present you with something. But Zach really fleshed out that entire story. And then kind of by chance, I happened to find like a one little role I could make for myself that was very accurate to who I am in general. So I was just like, maybe this fits, and it ended up working.
Yeah.
I hope.
I think it did.
Thank you.
That was a great answer. Well, part of what we talked about last week with Jordy was that the character of Max Rudolph, the first thing we wrote and released was Welcome to the Joint. And initially that wasn't necessarily supposed to be Max Rudolph who did it, who was that character, and it was going to maybe be Josie, because there's a similar thing that happens with Josie entering this for Phony, like where we kind of have this interaction, but it just didn't make sense, and so it started so many different ways, and then Josie not being in that part needed more backstory, and then yeah, because you started writing Who's Got Who and showed me some of it, and it had enough of the lyrics that fit the tone, but it was vague enough. It was the parts of the song that didn't relate directly to Harold and to the different things. So it was just like, I think that could fit in the world. And I mean, half of these songs don't tell the story directly. It's not necessarily an opera. So
yeah, but I mean, yeah, and most musicals have that like one random number where they're just like hats.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, hats! Like I feel like every show kind of does that, but or it's just like, all right,
I'm
that was
writing
fun.
that song now.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
fun. Didn't
Little
need to
hats,
be
big hats.
Half the
like,
songs.
see? Like and as an audience member, I'm already like,
And there's like one little part where there's like I hand something under the table that's a big plot point. Otherwise, it's just hats.
I freaking love hats.
That's how I got into hats. Was that song?
Was that song Hats?
Yeah.
Like there's always like, oh, you know what? The shapoopy. The shapoopy.
Yes.
Where it's just like, all right.
Yep.
Like that. All right. Sure.
That exists.
Sure.
Okay.
Did it help? Not necessarily.
What's funny though is like even if that is how it started, like I think the Josie songs are the most narrative driven.
I would agree
like,
with that
even
too,
more than
actually.
like half the shit I wrote. Like it's just like
Is that the most hate in my heart?
Perhaps.
I
Yeah.
had so much hatred inside of me that it was easy to write a vendetta song.
That makes sense.
Well,
Twice.
also, what's interesting with the lyrics of Who's Got Who, because I, again, haven't written very many songs, I was very nervous about doing them and finishing them, and Zach was awesome and came over and helped me finish Who's Got Who when I had no furniture, and I still don't, upstairs in that room, except that one weird table, and we sat down.
Good table.
I sold it.
Oh, bye
R.I.P.
table.
It didn't fit, but Zach helped me finish like a couple little lines for Who's Got Who, and the instrumental is I'm not doing this. I know.
Just the whole time, there's just little hands
little
playing
fingies.
underneath this bar. So
I was doing like
it was
nervous
just- it
fingers.
was very-
touching the
yeah, it was just
actual
like,
hand.
so the night, just so you all know what was happening. And
But what's interesting is we found out that later I was trying to like change the lyric, but you were like, no, we can't change that. And I was like, why? And you were like, it's the only time we actually say Diamond Eyes in the entire.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
And
that
you
was
just
a
made
whoops.
you made that up. Like we didn't think that was gonna be the name of Harold by then.
Yeah.
We literally were just like, I remember because I was just like, what is that? And you just like, I don't know, it sounds cool. That's like,
That's so.
do you
You
remember?
asked how I wrote. It's like it's usually finding kind of a rhyme scheme and a rhythm, and just like boop boop boop. This fits, and then craft a story around it. Now it makes sense. You know what? As soon as I'm able to be turning the tables,
That's
it
true.
was
yeah,
the
that
table
is.
song.
This is the table
Oh,
song.
yeah, yeah.
This was the table song. So Jillian, it already happened.
We did it.
We did it.
But yeah, like Zach really crafted most of it, and then like admittedly, like if we wanted a female character, like there was an availability for that. So it was pretty easy for me to just like based on the whole world that you had already established, just like crafting something, and then it ended up just being very true to playfully on our own personalities. Obviously you can see like we love each other. We're a love bug group, but
but there's
Little
you know,
girl.
anytime you're creating with somebody, there's you know, there's gotta be
or going.
these are impossible not to play with.
I know.
Yeah, we should put them.
We just need
Here,
to put
save
them
them for
away
the raffle.
now.
Yeah, we'll save
Just
those.
well, and the part of the characters coming together and the reluctance but also need to help each other specifically was I'm now a vampire. Harold has basically killed both of us. He thinks we're dead. So I knew she had some I switch back and forth between Archie and first person I because the character's not at all written that close to myself. Archie is now a vampire, so that cuts in half the amount of work that he can do. Harold's a human, so he needed a human to work with it, and there's always the question of is Josie a vampire? Not as far as the story is taking place, which I feel like is also an intentional decision. I don't know where you see it. I get the vibe from the character dynamic that you're not like, don't leave me out of this, like, I want to be a vampire too. You're more like, ew. Like, yeah, you're kind of gross over that. Like
I'll
you're like
tolerate
flaunting
working
eating
with
regular food and
Yeah.
you're like, that's
That's me.
delicious.
I actually remember one of our exit-in shows right before, like we started the process of writing the album. There's a lot to get done, and everyone was like getting their fangs ready for the show, and you'd mention like maybe you shouldn't wear them.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah. But then I saw everyone else in theirs, and I was like, oh, they look so cool.
I want fangs.
So if ever Josie Blue's wearing fangs,
It's a lie.
it's a fake. She's still a human. She just wears the fangs because
She wants to fit
pretty
in.
cool
Yeah,
and
because I'm
intimidating.
deeply insecure, which Josie is actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just me.
And as this goes on, please, tables are open. I'm gonna keep using that.
Tables,
for
tables,
questions,
tables, and hats.
And hats. So if anybody's got any questions about hats, we do wear some pretty good hats.
That's true.
I think it was. I wanted to just specifically the performance of Who's Got Who that we did for Festival of Ghouls. outside in October.
Mhm.
Kind of had like our outfits planned out, so we're just kind of weather be damned. We're gonna do this. It ended up being not too balmy.
It was so cold.
It was very cold.
It was
Balmy. What?
so cold.
What the hell is balmy? Hot?
Oh,
It's
warm,
like
yes.
warm.
It was cold. It
It was very
it was,
cold.
it was not
Ballsy.
balmy.
Yeah.
It was very cold.
It was cold.
Yeah. So there's I wish we had gotten pictures of it actually happening, but we were too busy trying to get it done. But so at the beginning of the video, I pull the coffin lid off, and then Josie comes walking up. Joe here comes walking up from the bottom of the hill, and we did the whole thing like 5 times all the way through. But there were
So
several where we
many
got like
times.
a start, and then we had to stop, or there was a
Or yes, I'd have to wait at the bottom of this hill. Not only wait, but also crouch so that no one could see me. So I'm just like hunkered down at the bottom of this hill, like a steep hill, where your brother
In
had
heels,
to
right?
in heels, and your brother had to dig out pseudo stairs out of the dirt because it was so steep.
Oh my gosh.
And like even I used a flashlight once, and everyone was like, "Nope, we can see the flashlight." And I'm like, "Okay." So, they'd have to reset the coffin, which took a long time. So I'm just crouched at the bottom of the hill, and I'd hear Andrew count in like, oh, boom, 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 stop. And I was like, ugh. And then I squat down again, and then Andrew's like, 3 and boom, 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 boom. Nope. And I was just like, ah! And the whole idea for
Oh
Josie
my
being
gosh.
in the coffin in that time period, like, are those like cute little slips that they have under their dresses. That's like what she's in. So I'm wearing this little slip, heels, and like one of those robes that they do like their makeup in. Where why do they even wear a robe? That's
it's
just stupid.
it's just to look fancy.
Why?
It serves no actual function. It just looks pretty.
I don't get me wrong. I enjoyed wearing it. I felt very
Wearing a
fancy.
robe while you apply makeup does add to the experience.
It does.
Mhm.
It makes you feel like you're really doing it.
So that with the cold wasn't great, but
Mhm.
I felt pretty.
There was this train. There was a train that lasted
Oh,
for so long
that train.
that it would, like, as soon as we almost went to start, it would go off again, just way off in the distance.
But you could hear it on the
For-
audio.
Mm-hmm.
So long. And at the end of the end of the whole video, there's a little rumble, and we all kind of like look up. There's like the tiniest moment where your face just like you can see it
You
click
see
on your
my
face,
face just
change
go-
for just a moment.
Like, I just-
As a
'cause it was
plane
just
is
like-
going overhead.
I was expecting a cut because it happened just in time, but it's in the video, like the sound is
Yeah.
in the video.
Yeah, we
It's-
couldn't take it out.
it's
It's
there.
It's there. So there's a plane. There were planes back then. It was fine.
Yeah.
I just channeled it into looking mad. I looked extra mad because I think that's like the last take. Like I just looked
Yeah.
so mad the whole time because I kind of was mad.
Oh my god.
Was we'd done it so many times, so we were like so many little things that got in the way that it was just, yeah, that was the one. That was the one, and it ended up being.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my favorite performances of the whole thing.
It's so good.
It is nice seeing the Fable babies like all
Mhm.
together too. It's like we joke Fable babies all the time. Where I was like
Yeah.
Fable baby, like with
Right.
their hands or like stupid stuff. But it was a really nice moment to solidify the 3 female vocal harmony
Mhm.
element that carried through the rest of that as well.
Mhm.
And I love that arrangement so much that you
Thank
did
you.
because it just
Yeah.
it was so fun to sing
It was
because
fun.
it sounded so good. We
Uh,
got some questions.
these are
You want to
great.
answer some questions?
Yes.
Andrew asked about why Archie doesn't turn Josie into a vampire.
Ah,
I wouldn't let him touch me.
that's part of it. Well, the it's mostly because we needed a human on the outside who could be out and about in the daylight and be kind of a spy against Harold and try to somebody who knew the city, and I couldn't. I had to stay underground, and so could all the other vamps who hate him. So that was another reason. Another thing, I'm sure we crossed this line quite a bit, but I wanted to. There's a lot of weird metaphors with vampirism, and consent is often not included in them, and that was something that I wanted to make clear when we did Welcome to the Joint, where Max Rudolph comes in willingly, and I beckon him, but he comes. It's a little pushy, but I hand him the glass.
You
Just
what?
like-
You hand
Come here, and I hand him the glass of blood, and he drinks it before I bite him. And I wanted to make sure that it wasn't just all of us leaping on him. So, twofold, we needed a human to help. So Josie needed to stay a human, and I don't think you would have wanted to become a vampire.
No.
So it was a. That's why.
It's practicality. Goth Gremlin also had a question about a lyric from Phony. The lyric, "The last thing I need is another freak. I've been there and I've done it." They said, I feel there's a story behind that. Or is she talking about Harold himself?
Are we talking about like real life or the story? I'm
It's
kidding.
your
No,
question.
I'm kidding.
It's your
I'm kidding.
question.
I was trying to refer to Harold in that moment. Yeah. Like I knew you guys were like obviously different, but I
Yeah.
still anyone that I don't like is just like the same in that plot line where like anyone that's basically getting in the way of what I want, which is just very selfish. Like I want to be successful and good at music, which is
Hey! Oh, something.
exactly what I'm doing.
That's amazing.
Because I think we kind of like we brushed over your actual interaction with Harold. It's so solidified in our brains, but I don't know if catching people. Goth asked how you knew Harold beforehand, if you knew him beforehand.
Oh yeah.
And yes.
We you can definitely see it, especially in the live show for the did we release that? I'm sorry, I'm kind of blanking on the order of things. Where
Which one?
like we did the live puppetry where
We didn't release Who's Got Who, so all of that backstory
is yet
has not been seen unless you
Yeah.
were at Festival of Ghouls.
got it. So
This is true. Part of why we're filling in the gaps here until you can come see it live as one whole story.
So essentially it's just like that classic, especially like in the 30s, like I hate to like shove the very obvious parallel, but films like Chicago and Cabaret, there's always that like young girl that is going against a lot of like gender roles in that time too and being like, nope, I deserve being center and hot and awesome because shut up. And we actually saw Cabaret together. And I think that was like when I started thinking about this character more. And again, the like very embarrassing obvious parallel to like I have that tendency, and I know I do. I'm extraordinarily competitive, and I want to be.
You're driven.
You're
very
very
driven.
I am.
It's both.
It's
Really
It is
driven.
both.
So the whole idea is in a lot of these, and honestly, something that's still an issue today that is being talked about a lot is someone coming along being like, I can get you what you want. You just have to do what I say. And I'm like, okay, older man in an expensive looking coat. That makes sense. You probably know what I need to do. And so I'm like the star.
That's all you needed back then.
I'm the
Yeah.
flashy one.
Just needed
Like
big
if
fancy coat.
if is it okay to talk about like if I had an unended budget, how Who's Got Who?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The original script that I wrote for Who's Got Who, it starts off, I'm center stage, and I'm loving it, and you see Harold in the corner, kind of just like surrounded by all his other entertainment people and a bunch of other hot chicks that want to be the one on stage, but I'm the one on stage. But then right before the breakdown, where the instrumental kicks in, it starts to pick up and has an explosion because I see essentially like if you're a herald and there's an armrest here, some like bae just like sitting there.
Sitting on that
And-
On
armrest.
the armrest.
And I'm enough of a jerk and I'm competitive enough where I'm like, no. Like, I'm busy doing my song over here, but that's also unacceptable to me because me. And so I start to get off stage to confront, and I'm carried out, and that's just it. And they try to bury me, like get me out of the way, so the next new young hot thing can go up on stage, and after a month I'm already withered and used and nothing. So literally he tries to do away. And then the original idea, which was, you know, not possible with how high we dream all of our things. If we had an unended budget and resources, who knows, but
It'd be unstoppable.
One day.
one day. But Scared, Cold, and Alone is when I start singing again. That's me realizing, like, crap, like, I was just buried alive. Like, I just got literally thrown away like trash. And I get super mad. But ideally what I wanted for that last verse is like, bam, I'm back center stage, but I'm in the slip and I'm dirty and I'm covered from mud and being in the grave. And everyone in the scene before is just laughing at me. Like, the band's still playing and they're like, whatever. And I just look like an idiot. And that gold dress that Josie's seen wearing, that girl sitting on the armrest is wearing the dress.
Oh.
And she's laughing. So we picked out a girl too, like someone who kind
Yeah.
of looks like me. Like, this was all fledged out, and
I
like,
forgot about that.
yeah, that's how I wanted Who's Got Who to be.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, because I hate to say it, but no, I don't hate to say it because I'm saying it. That's how I feel a lot about my personal growth. Is like growth. Every time I've overcome something, like the idea of someone telling you can't do this is kind of that last imagery of everyone before who was clapping and kissing my butt. Now that it's not cool to support me, is just laughing at me, and I'm just yelling the lyrics at them. Like, we'll see who's got who in the end. Like, right now, I can't tell you off, but like, it's gonna be bad, and watch out.
Yeah.
But that was
Look out.
the original.
I still want to see that video and make that video.
We can make it
yeah.
one day.
Yeah, because we had, we explained in a couple of Behind the Curtains ago that initially the whole thing was going to be a movie, and we were talking to Surly Urchin about it, and we're like, maybe we can do it. Maybe we can make a full-on thing. And like, I was starting to write the script, and we were coming up with videos, and that was going to be that segment, and then we made a play out of it instead. And then I love that. We got to use sort of some of those elements and split them up a little bit, I feel like,
Yeah.
through the different live performances. Of even Target Practice has some elements of that, and yeah.
Like, it plays on a lot of like what you touched on in the album too, which is just like how no one necessarily. Should I not talk about the later half?
Ooh,
I'll
keep
save
it
it.
a little bit
I'll save it, but
Sparingly.
ultimately, that people don't necessarily deserve anything. Like,
Yeah.
at the core of it, people can be pretty just like nasty. So I feel like that really is like my moment of Who's Got Who, where it's just like, look at all these sheep. Just one moment they're praising you because some guy told you to, and now he's like, no, she's trash. So
And
they're all
they're
like,
like,
ha 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 ha. It's just like, everyone's just dark and messed up, whatever.
Yeah.
No one deserves anything.
Yeah, that I think that part is good. Good to know going into the rest of it for sure, or just having watched the first half, is that Josie and Archie are not necessarily good.
Not necessarily likable.
Not necessarily likable. We're charming, so we like win you over, but like at the core, kind of bad, selfish people. Harold's worse.
Yeah, so,
So-
yeah, that's like, yeah, it's just like, so whatever, you can't hate me that bad.
Yeah, I mean, like, you still agree that we should kill him, though, right? Like, you still hate him
Like,
the
we're
most.
cool.
And then Max is just, like, losing his hair, like, I just want to just figure it out. What's going on? No way it's vampires.
Whatever.
Well, going into Phony next, because basically after you get dug up, you find an envelope with an address on it, and it is the address to this bar that this speakeasy of sorts with these little telephones, and that's the Phony song. That was the only song, because we did a lot of collaboration, and like there's no song on here that we both didn't touch in some way that was like arrangement or our own instruments or whatever. But Phony was the one that we, like, I had a chorus and a first verse, and then I was like, write your part, and then like we just sent it back and forth basically through each verse, and it was in chronological order too. Like I didn't write the next verse until I found out what your next verse would be, because I wanted to respond directly to it.
But I thought we actually worked quite well together. You're more so, it seems like, an independent sort of a writer from your experience. And I'm just like not a very experienced writer. So then the two of us like figuring something out could have gone real bad, but we did a really good job of just kind of sincerely hearing each other out, always trying, even if in our heads we're like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
But we'd still always try it, and then like push our ideas that we believed in enough to get them on while also compromising on other things. But I think it's so funny that the first song we wrote together ended up being that. It's such a weird song, but I like it.
It's kind of had to grow on a lot of people, including you. Like I started to write it, and I was like, I've never done anything like this. I don't know. Like this is okay. Let's see how this goes.
I deeply resented beginning writing my verse. I deeply resented it.
I
It's
remember
like,
that.
this is the song we're gonna collaborate. This is the banter back and forth.
Is I couldn't learn how to speak yet.
Yeah.
So I kept either just saying the lyrics like, "Oh, poor thing, you might like," and I was like, "This sounds mad stupid," and then I would be like, "Oh, poor thing," and I was like, "That also sounds bad. I hate all of this, and this sucks." But I said the S word.
Oh
no.
Oh no, we'll bleep it out in post.
Okay, thank you.
Don't worry about it.
But the first time I just dedicated to like going for it, then I really loved it right away.
Yeah.
It was really fun. I'm proud of that little weird thing.
I like it.
And then the video.
And then the video also, like it was it turned out to be the only like official music video that we did.
So funny. It wasn't
that it was
supposed
that
to be
song.
like
Like that's, just speaking honestly, this album is full of some bangers, and that song is kind of a weird one.
Yeah.
And it's like that's the one. But
it's
also
like our
the
favorite music video.
It's our favorite, and like the tiny puppet bodies wouldn't have worked with any of the other songs because they're like giant choruses and like very angry and or intimate, and then that song just sounded stupid enough, and we needed to make it look stupid enough
oh my
to
goodness.
fit.
That's really great.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have more questions. I wanted to make sure I was paying attention to the chat if there was any questions that came in, because I have more questions, but they come along a little bit later.
Do you want to?
I think it's time to do.
Here?
I'm really good at reading body language.
Yeah.
So when you were like,
When I was just like
when you just
thinking really
froze for
hard
a second.
and holding the glasses. Oh, wait a second.
Hats, hats, hats. It's time for
Hats,
hats,
hats.
hats.
They go
Take
into head.
my
Big hats, little
trusty
hats.
little, now what's fun? Whoever
Top
wins
hats,
this,
bowler hats.
We've come to the part
The
of
next
the
Lincoln Rhino show.
It's just about hats, hats, hats.
where
hats,
we
and
give
tables.
away. We find out who won the raffle from last week to get these diamond goon glasses.
Yes.
These
Goons.
or these. There are several colors and they're all wonderful.
Mhm.
And we have some of you fine folks donated, and we're going to find out and I hope you're here.
Shall we?
I think we shall.
Here,
My
I'm going
fingers
to
are
do a
ready.
little stir.
I'm breaking the illusion.
Should I take these
Oh, yeah.
out of the?
Yeah.
Are these also being pulled out, or it's just the names?
Yeah, I think we will just because of but just the names first,
Okay.
because that way, since they're random colors and stuff,
Pull all the names, put them at the top.
it'll all make sense.
I'm mixing them up with my tiny
Hats,
hands.
hats. What's
We
in
will
the hat?
find the
Hats,
winner.
Hats, hats, hats.
It's hard to pick up.
It is. Oh.
Oh,
3,
The-
2.
Michael Ezekiel! Oh, the winner is Michael Ezekiel. Michael, I'm not sure if you were here in the chats. You were here last week. I have your email, so
Should we?
thank
pick
you
out Which one you guess?
so much, Michael. Let's find out which color that you
Which glasses
got.
will you get?
Oh,
This is exciting.
someone's gonna be a bad boy.
Oh, those are nasty.
Those
Look
are
at this.
very, very sleek.
Well,
Yes.
these are sweet.
Very Batman.
Very
Oh, yes.
Matrix.
Welcome
Very
to the Matrix, Michael. Pre-warned.
They're a little sweaty now.
No.
I look. Also, it's. I feel like a Cinnabite.
Oh my God.
What's a
They,
Like from
Cinnabite?
they do
Hellraiser.
make you look like
Ah.
It.
They look good on you. You should keep them.
Sorry, Michael. You can
Sorry,
take
Michael.
these.
I mean, Michael, these are yours.
Michael. Oh wow! You got another option instead. Those are pretty cool. Thank you for playing the game. Thank you, everybody else. All of the money that we made will be put into this hat that we will eventually make.
hat.
That Who's Got Who video, maybe.
Oh my God, yeah.
Be so
I mean,
great.
you know, eventually. Like, it's...
We picked the location. We picked the cast. We picked the costumes. One day.
We got it all there. I mean, it's not any more ambitious than some of the other stuff we've done. It's just we were doing so much as well.
Yeah.
And it was kind of between, like, we can do a music video or, like,
10.
10. So...
Of course. We did 10 in like
And
3
did
days.
10.
Yeah.
Instead, exactly.
You know, like normal people do.
Exactly. Yeah, they're like the butterballs. Anthro knows what I'm talking about. Hellraiser. Well, hey,
Should we do another?
another.
Sunglasses?
We're just doing one? Or are we doing...
What if he wins twice?
He will.
Because we did for every $5 that you donated, you got your name, and
Here,
Michael was so
I'll
generous.
take out his very quickly.
Yes,
This might take a
Yes.
second.
yes, let's do it.
But
Let's give another one.
one other fun thing that I felt like we gained from the cabaret performance is another future video coming up. Where what's in the middle of every wonderful musical.
Oh, yes.
But maybe we'll talk more about that later.
Okay,
No,
I think
you
I
know
pulled...
what? I feel like we're gonna end up talking about it again later, but also this is a good time because you'll be here.
Okay.
That
you
is
know.
true.
So we have. Do you want to say it?
Yeah, we killed it, by the way, for going to the theater, and I can't wait for things to open up so we can all go to the theater.
I miss the theater.
It misses you.
We did all the right things. We went to the Rainbow Room first and got a fancy, too expensive drink, but we were dressed up in
Yes.
fancy, so we
We were
don't
dressed
care.
for
Be
it.
fancy.
So we did that, and then we got the last call tickets right before, and we didn't spend like anything.
It
for
was
those
great.
tickets.
TPAC has this thing. TPAC here in Nashville is the Performing Arts Center, and they do this thing that's a pay what you want. It's for artists and other performers in the city, and it happens at a certain block. And yeah, it was the best seats that I've had in that room before.
Yeah, we were like row 7 center.
Yeah, yeah, like somebody
That's awesome.
somebody
Yeah.
was sick that night
Yeah.
or something.
And the payoff
That's
that we got from that, not only from just having a good time, was we had a lot of inspiration, I think, from that show. Even visually, what they did with it was so interesting. And we were walking back to my car, and I remember being like, oh, we should do like an intermission song where like you do all the songs in it, but do them in a different style. And Zach was like, yeah, that'd be cool. And then a week later, he's like, I did it. And I was like, what? Like, really? It's so ambitious. Like, you killed it. I was just like, you know, I had a couple drinks. I'm like, we should do this. And
like, great idea, yeah.
Zach just plopped it in on my lap. I'm like, oh, heck yeah, that's freaking awesome.
I just remember that for like weeks after you guys went to the show, you would just burst out into the if you happen to be rich, then they're going to the shoes and the
Claimed.
Yes.
I should have said that. Wait. Oh no.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Oh, no.
You had to say it.
Oh.
Silly me.
That was one of the funnest parts about writing this album.
Really?
Was that well, it's a pain in the ass. I hate that song and
Recording
love
it?
Like,
Oh!
It's just 10 seconds of every song in the whole album in different styles and in different keys so that they would flow together, and different chords and rendition. It was, and then a lot of that we used for all of the radio snippets underneath Max Rudolph. We used a bunch of those little snippets that also, for some reason, we didn't use the same ones. Like some of those are in different keys or different tempos or different styles, because it was like, okay, Max Rudolph's being a little inquisitive here, and like in the intermission, it's very upbeat and peppy, and it needs to be sultry here, so we're going to do it this way instead. It's a lot. You want this?
No.
So much.
It's a gift.
Here.
It's a tiny gift.
Tiny
for the
gift
tiny
for
hand.
a tiny.
Where'd it go?
Ew.
So that's something to look forward to this upcoming week.
And it
We are
features
indeed.
some darling puppetry work.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
It does.
It was so fun. I'm excited to get to geek out about the puppet parts.
I am too.
'Cause they were just fun
We're
to
going to
build,
have
fun to design.
coming up in the coming weeks. We're going to be doing some more deep dives into the puppets and showing you behind the scenes of the Phony puppets.
Do you want to grab with tiny hands?
I do.
It's pretty fun.
I can be nice sometimes.
Look at how nice she was.
I'm going.
She was just.
I was waiting for
even
someone to
wear
point it
my
out.
cinema-
Nice guy over here.
Oh, Andrew, welcome.
Andrew!
Was not happy the first time we heard it, but it grew on me. Yeah, it grew on all of us after we were finished with it.
Yeah, when we
I
finished.
remember it was like I sent the demo to everybody, and like
No one
you
responded.
no one responded, and then when you were recording, it was all basically the same response of just like, I hate you. Why'd you do this to me?
Yeah, mix them up. That part's the fun part.
This is
You look like a little dog swimming. Like, kinda. Actually, no.
No, I love it. That was perfect. That was perfect.
sorry, there are also the sunglasses in here, so it's hard to. What happens when you can?
Read it?
Well, I can't.
Between the sunglasses and no!
I'm
Hats and
actually,
hats and hats full of beer and hats full of
As it
sunglasses,
turns
hats
out,
full of names.
these tiny
Sometimes it happens on a
fingers-
Thursday.
Oh my!
God, I'm just trying.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
Can you lower it a little bit? I think I'm too tall.
Are you serious?
Yeah, these hands are stupid.
I'm touching his thigh.
Oh!
You got it. Oh,
Oh, you can't read it?
Oh. Did you hear the suction cup sound?
Yeah. It was like,
Yeah. Oh! And
yeah.
the runner-up and second winner of another one of these pair of sweet glasses is Ava Baldwin! Oh, yay! Congratulations, Ava. I hope you're still in the chat. Otherwise, we'll be emailing you soon.
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
Let's see.
This is gonna take him 20
These-
minutes again.
Ooh.
Oh,
that's
wow.
good. That's good stuff.
Those
These
green?
are good stuff.
Are they blue?
Gold,
I think
black.
they're
Just
gold
gold and black?
and black. You want to demo them, either of you, this time?
Go for it, Jeff.
I didn't even need to take these off. It looks like I'm wearing Fable Cry sunglasses now.
Those are fun. Those are very fun.
Those
oh,
are
there's so
nice.
many names
Ava, they're
and
gonna be
sunglasses
yours.
in that hat.
Well, we'll be contacting both of you for your address, and it'll be yay, Ava!
Yay!
Congratulations! Haha. Oh, hello, Anthea.
Hey, Anthea.
Welcome. Anthea is my sister, and she did a bunch of the costuming for the live show of Festival of Ghouls and This Fool Me Once.
Mm-hmm.
They're so good. Well, Joe,
Yes.
I was curious. This one's a long question.
Okay.
But the answer might be short. It won't be.
Yes.
You're into things. You have hobbies. You like sports and games and stuff. So this is a fun little play, a little exercise. If you, if Josie Belue is your age, in
18.
exactly. In 1932, when this story takes place,
Yes.
you'd be born roughly in the teens, the 19 teens,
Yes.
maybe.
Probably.
What do you think? How do you think your life would? What would your favorite sport or game you played? Who taught you music? Talk about.
Do
I'm
you
sorry.
need me to take these
Yeah,
away from
I'm
you?
having
Like-
I'm having a tiny hand stroke. I'm sorry.
Yes.
How would you like living back then, Josie Blue? How would you?
Well,
Oh
my God.
I feel like it would be pretty sweet for like a very small percentage of it, but I would really milk that. Like I would definitely be the lady that stays at the bar like a little later than 6 p.m. where everyone's
Whoa.
like, what is she doing? And I'm just like, haha, everyone's paying attention to me mostly as I shouldn't be here, but I'll take it. And that would be fun. I'd also be that one at the beach that presents half, like just above the knees.
Whoa.
And more attention. So
Yeah.
I don't care how I get it. That's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
I like
so
that.
you're like you're rule breaker, but you're also a pioneer.
Yeah, like I can hide under the knowing now that that is technically fighting for women's rights, but at the time I have to admit that I think a portion of that would be for selfishness of I wanting to do things and a little bit of rebel rousing, but ultimately pushing towards some pretty dope equality stuff. What else could I not do that I would probably do? A lot of things, probably.
Sorry, as I was asking this question, I was like, life would be kind of.
Yeah, life would be real
wouldn't be
mundane,
great.
but it would be
Mm.
fun to do what I want and then also live under the like, thank you for doing that, and I'd be like, 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 you're welcome for staying and having a lot of whiskey and showing my upper kneecap at the beach today. So that seems pretty fun. I don't trust myself to gamble.
Oh.
That's a very, very. I feel like I would lose everything very quickly.
You think so?
Yeah.
Have you ever gambled?
No. I
I bet you I can get you to gamble.
I feel like outside of like a silly game that like we would play,
Mhm.
I feel like I'm very. You can see how I'm feeling very easily. You two can vouch for that.
Yes.
So I feel like I would look at my cards and be like, oh.
It would just be so much
No,
face making.
no.
Oh God!
This has
no.
gotta be bad.
And I'd get too
Here,
nervous.
take my glasses.
I'd be like, yeah, I'd have to wear these like the entire time.
Yeah.
And they'd be like a second pair to hide my mouth as well.
Here.
Yeah. And
There
then
you go.
maybe I could do it. What other things would I not be able to do that would be fun?
Did you want hands?
Choose to not have children, maybe. That could be
Ooh,
a
that's
very
exciting.
exciting time. Or
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Mhm.
That's what I'd do.
Pretty great.
That was a long answer.
That's
Yeah, I
great.
guess my
Yeah.
my question was confusing, and you answered a different one, but I liked it.
Yeah.
I just wanted the record to show that I wasn't asking you that question of what would you do that you missed out on, but you did.
Yep.
I'm gonna go back into these.
Yep. Michael's not gonna get his glasses.
Sorry, Michael. I'll send them eventually.
There's this fun yellow pair.
It's true. There's all
Somebody
sorts of fun
asked
pairs.
where the name came from. Jove.
Mm-hmm.
How do you decide the character's name? Josie Belue. Josie Blue.
When Zach first told me,
I came up with the blue part, I will say. He had already come up with Josie, and I
Yeah.
was like, what about Baloo? Because I love Baloo.
I
So,
like Baloo.
Yeah. So for those who don't know,
I love the reason. Just I like blue.
but Baloo is Joe's beloved cat.
Kitty cat. He's a handsome,
Oh.
loud boy.
He is.
Mommy.
I can hear him from here. Oh, he's so loud, but he loves her so much. And we spelled it differently.
Very French.
It's very French.
When
And you didn't love it.
no, when you first said it on the phone to me, I was like, I only think of just like that is.
I'm like, isn't that kind of fitting for the mood and character though?
Yeah, and I think that made me madder. Where I'm like, no, like, are you saying I'm whiny? Like,
I just loved, because I remember when I said that, like, I think Zach even said immediately, it was just like, she's gonna hate it. Like,
I do like it now. I remember one of my reasons. This is so dark. I'm so transparent. I can't hide anything. The first thing I think I told you on the phone was like, but then it sucks is like when he dies, then like I'll be sad. And you were like, oh.
I'll think about him every time I play the character.
I'm like, he's
well,
kinda
then he'll
old.
live on through you. That'll
Yeah.
be nice
Yeah, that's
through the
probably exactly
character.
what you said.
Doesn't that sound fun?
I'm like, all right.
Isn't
whatever.
that great? Well, he had a sickness happening that week, so it was like
Even worse.
it was extra.
it was
like,
worse
ugh.
because
Yeah, I
you
didn't
were
know if I was
worried
gonna
about
keep him, so I was like, "You might
Yeah.
die. I don't want my name to be Blue."
yeah
right now.
and it's like
But somehow, yeah, just that was where it went. But
it just I was like, sorry, we already made the headstone. We can't change it now. It's all
Sorry.
written.
I do like it now though. I think it does fit, and if people didn't know I had a cat named Baloo, I think it does sound like
Yeah, it's a fun name.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like-
it's fun.
yeah, it
It's
sounds like
nice.
glamorous.
Mm-hmm.
And Josie Cleary.
I got it.
You know, here, let me write it for you. You got a pen.
I just love
Put it
that,
in-
like,
No,
Jove
Jove put
already
it in
did
the-
it and was spot on. Like, it's like, yes, that is where it
it's-
came from. Well done.
Jove is a genius.
You were
I gotta
correct,
put
Jove.
these things away. This is
Where?
a mess.
This is a mess.
Well, I think we're getting close here. You know, I think we could start wrapping fairly soon. We're
Nope.
pretty caught up on the
I'm just starting.
on the story.
Joe's just warming up.
Ooh,
I've been doing this for a while.
I thought you had the tiny hands. That you could... Oh yeah.
I'm just getting my kicks in. Oh, that's the other song I wrote.
That's nice. We should talk about it next time.
Okay.
Not now. Not a word.
I'm curious because we don't know about Josie's character, so this is just. I bet this question is gonna be more fun. I bet you.
Race and horse. Joe hasn't had much social content in months. No.
None of us have.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
I have a sleeping bag here.
That's true.
That is true. No, it was Jillian's. That's not true.
It's mine now.
Sorry, she took it.
She took it home.
No, Dune has one.
Oh, the
As
yellow one.
yours,
Yeah, that's where it is.
yeah.
Yes.
I'm glad we got to the bottom of it.
Me too. I was very
It's
nervous.
okay. We have sheets and such. Where do you see, like, because this character only exists like in this world and then your head and then some ideas that I might have, but assuming your without giving it away, assuming your goal is successful or that at least you survive this story, where would you want to explore Josie more? Like either before the happenings of this as like a prehistory or like more in between, because it happens over like a year and a half, this whole story. Like it takes a while because we're kind of like building an army to try to kill this guy and get to him, so there's more in there, or afterwards.
Ooh. Be careful for
Don't lean too hard. Don't lean too hard.
The tiny bar is fragile. So I think in all seriousness, like I've been kind of transparent with that. Josie very much based on me. So I feel like if Josie is going to still be something that I think about, it's very much so going to be my current development, which, you could say it was a cop-out where I'm like, yeah, I just wrote me. So then it's easy to keep writing about me. But
No.
I feel without being too no,
it's fine.
without being too sappy, I feel like I have grown the exact same time as this character with you give me the opportunity to like take front and center stage for a moment. I was very scared to do that and I didn't like it. When I just sing without my violin in my hands, I was like, I hate this. And I still kind of hate it, if I'm being honest. Violin's my safety. And then I danced. No. That was a lot. It was awesome.
So
Don't get me
impressive.
wrong, but I
was
was
so impressive.
so nervous. But I feel like I've grown a lot, so I feel like her character would be kind of the same amount, but maybe evolves into more of like a Devil's Wear Prada kind of evil, petty.
Ooh.
Are you Meryl Streep in this scenario?
Yes.
Or are you... Yes, good. Or are you Stanley Tucci?
I want to say...
The Tooch.
The Tooch.
I want to
Tooch.
say Cruella de Vil, but that's too cool. I feel like you're Cruella de Vil, and I'm like,
Thank you.
Meryl Streep.
Is it the animal print?
Maybe. And you've like also had the two-toned hair at one point, so.
Oh, that's true. Your villain streak.
But I feel like, that would probably be it. I told you, I probably said this before on the Fable Cry thing, but I've never felt more connected to a songwriting statement than Fiona Apple in one interview when they were like, you seem to write a lot of dark material. And she's just like, I mean, like, why would I ever want to write a song if I'm happy? Like, the last thing I want to do if I'm happy is sit at a piano and write a song. Like, and then looks at him like he's so stupid. Like that is so me and so Josie because therefore is me.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna write about something if I need to lift myself up in some way. I hope I can grow to like write a sincere just here's a song just to be a song. I'm like, no, mine has to be about like metaphorically digging myself out of a grave or pretending to shoot at someone's feet to make them dance like an old-timey Western person.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's so fun.
Perfect. I would love to explore more, and there's a lot of writing and things that we could do. But
for when we make it a movie.
Yeah.
In that vein, Anthro just asked, how do you see Josie's home life before she arrives in the Fool Me Once story? Does it have anything to do with why she left?
Whoa, probably. Wait, I should answer this. Give me my little hands. This is where I wouldn't relate, to be clear, because I love my mom and dad.
Sure.
Pretty sick. But I feel like they're pretty freaking rad. Shout out to the the parents and sister and brother. But I feel like with Josie, maybe her upbringing would be along the lines of pretty mediocre everything in her life. Like her parents are also like mediocre jobs, and even she hates that. You know, she just wants everything in her life to be excellent.
She wanted more than this provincial life.
Is that's from something?
No, it's original.
No, it's not. But
It's not.
I'll move on because we're talking about me. But to the point where she'll like lie at school, like, oh yeah, my dad's like an astronaut, and my mom is like the first heart surgeon / professional horse racer. But then
It's quite a feat.
yes,
Whoa.
and she's an only child, yeah. So like she thinks about this stuff a lot,
Oh.
and then everyone at school
Ah.
finds I lied, and then they all make fun of me and say I'm a loser. So I just try to and a liar. So I just keep lying and do my mediocre life with my parents who like mediocre like me. Like they know
Just
I'm awful.
mediocring through.
Yeah, a lot of mediocre, so I'm just like, I'm not mediocre.
do you see Josie as a more like in that time? What's the setting? Is it like mediocre like city or like country? Like, are your parents
Oh yeah.
like farmers and you're like going to the big city, or are you like you're wanting to go to a shinier part of the city? You're poor.
I want to
is-
say not great part of the city.
Okay.
Yeah. Because then I can still like see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll still have the aspect where I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. I should do that.
Where you're like walking with your mom as a little girl and you see somebody in like a fur coat and you're like, I want to be them.
I start holding their hand and I'm like, mommy.
Bye, Mom. Hello, Mom.
Hello,
Mummy.
mummy.
And they're like, ew, you dirty
It's like, feed me, mummy.
dirt child. Don't touch me. Beast.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
That does.
that actually, that is the truth, and I didn't just piece that together.
No way.
Pre-decided.
That's a fun origin
Yeah.
story.
That's a great question.
That is a great question.
Mhm.
See, we're getting to the bottom of things.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, those are great.
No, it was. It was great.
See, I foresee, and I think it's probably because of our different upbringings and locations. I see Archie as moving to the city fairly young and traveling around quite a bit. I mean, judging by his age, it would have been either his dad was in World War I, or it was like the world was in turmoil, but things were kind of being exchanged. But I picture him growing up in the country for the first chunk, and like always wanting to like being drawn to the city thing, but also like he definitely played in the mud for a lot of his life.
Just like
Just
Sad.
like
Aw.
me.
Just,
kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very much.
I outed
I live
you.
in the city now, but I
Yeah.
mostly just played in the mud till last week.
Darren Hughes asked, is there a specific region / city where this takes place? Or is it
No, we keep
ambiguous?
we keep it vague. Yeah, it's wanted it to be something you could interpret, something that have something that's a little bit familiar to you, regardless of where you grew up. Hats. There were hats there. Do you remember hats in your hometown? Well,
Not to give it away, but there's lots of hats.
there's lots of hats, and
Lots of hats.
so what city would you want it to take place in?
Got him.
And actually, we mention like in the one of the radio snippets, "Good morning," and then there's intentional static, but it's "Good morning to the city," and it's something.
Hats in the chat.
Hats in the chat. Oh yeah,
Oh,
hats in the chat.
Now!
The city
Do it!
of hats.
Time for hats. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice. I think we're wrapping up. I think this is pretty good, unless anybody has some more questions. But there is plenty more to the story. As as we mentioned, if you want to see this whole thing, it's the playlist of Fool Me Once. You can watch it all from start to finish that we've been doing, and on our website fablecry.com we have a little schedule that we're updating as time goes on. But we're gonna be back this time Wednesday again, and next week we have Jordy Revelette back to talk about Max Rudolph. And the week after that, you know who's going to be back?
Ooh. This one.
Josie Hats.
I'm not leaving. I'm just gonna stay here.
Yeah,
It's true.
And you're sleeping
For
bag.
2 weeks.
Yeah, for 2
Just
weeks.
right
Just
here.
come out.
She'll be in the next stream, just like scooted over.
Under the desk.
You see like my leg in the corner.
See one tiny hand come up and you're like, ah!
I'm like, bartender, and you're like, get out of here.
No more for you. Get out of here. That week too, not this next week, but the week after, you'll be back, and so will Dune Bay Dune will be here, who produced this whole album and shot and edited all of the live stuff that we did with the full band.
Master of all trades.
So talented.
So handsome.
Very handsome.
He sent me pictures today.
Of himself?
Ooh.
Just pictures.
Just
Oh
pictures.
my
Just
gosh.
pictures. So anyway, maybe we'll share some next week.
Well, thank you guys for having me. That was
Thank
fun.
you for
Joe,
being here.
Thanks for being here.
I
Thanks
wore
for
shoes.
writing
Nice
this
to see
album.
you.
I didn't even have to wear shoes. Oh, that was sincere. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for writing this album with me.
Yeah, let's do more. The K-pop one I'm talking. I'm sorry to say about K-pop album.
Hey, you haven't heard some of my new jams.
It will be pretty
Not
sweet.
saying it's not K-pop.
It better be K-pop.
Just saying.
You said we could do a bunch of dance videos. Oh, that would be great.
Not saying
That would be very fun.
I haven't already choreographed a little bit.
You're getting my hopes up
You
again.
just have to wait.
No, thank you guys. Thank you. It means a lot to have people that care about what we're working on, and like Zach said, he's already way ahead in creating more fanciful, amazing worlds and escapes for us, no matter what the environment is. So we'll always do our best to give you a little break from whatever needs to be taken a break from.
Yeah.
And tiny hens and hats.
tiny hens and
lots of hats.
We'll be back.
Hats and hats and hats and
Oh.
hands. And tables
RBB
sometimes.
Productions still excited for the Jubilee in 10 years. It's gonna happen.
Jubilee.
There's a Jubilee
Oh.
in 10 years.
In 10 years.
It'll be the 20-year anniversary celebration.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Yes.
I'll be there.
You will. You're invited.
Yep.
And you all are invited. We'll see you in 10 years and hopefully before. Next Monday is when we're releasing the next video. And then Tuesday, and then we'll be back Wednesday for another Fool Me Once Behind the Curtain.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone, so much. Sincerely. And
Hats in the chat.
Hats in the chats.
Hats in the chats.
And
Hats in the chats.
and hats and chats.
Oh my god, that's so cool! That's amazing.
I can't seem to fill the spaces. I see familiar faces. Have we met before, or am I just drawing blank? Can you tell me where it might have been, or have I purposely forgotten? I don't know how much more I can take. Looking through diamond eyes, it was the best time of my life. You made a promise I would see my name in lights. What could I say? But in it now, gave it all away. Chasing fortune and fame, I can't breathe.
Hats in the chat. Hats in the chat. Oh, hats in the chat. Hats Don't look at my tummy. Stop it.